Can you imagine a FIFA World Cup semi-finals without the giants Brazil, Germany and Argentina? Well, 2018 FIFA World Cup has offered just that to us. Hello and welcome to Free Kick with me Neeraj Prabhu, a show that analyzes and previews World Cup games. We have in our studio Francis de Souza, former India striker, and Denzel Franco, the big fan of Brazil, of course India defender, but very sad today because you know how or why. So let's start this show by getting in the opinion of our experts.
This is incredible World Cup. I have not seen something like this happening in any World Cups I have watched. And this year it's been upset of the favourites. And the latest casualty is Brazil. The favourites who have always been for the semi-finals.
Absolutely.
And now they're going home this time at the quarter-final stage. And the golden generation of Belgium, which was supposed to perform the last World Cup, had failed. And today they're coming good. Unbelievable performance. The coach, Martinez, has to be credited with this victory.
Sure.
It's a challenge that he had taken up to play against this Brazilian side. I think there was this permutation which was allowed him to avoid Brazil, but as courageous he was, he didn't mind whatever options came his way.
Right.
And if you are made of champion stuff, you got to beat them all the way. Whoever comes, you encounter. And this is they have killed the giants of this World Cup, Brazil, by their super planning and performance. Like he said in his interview, it's easier for me to do it completely well in the tactic board, but for my players to execute on the ground was something which they have delivered. They are great footballers, like I said, De Bruyne, Lukaku, Hazard. They come good at the big competition. They are big time players, and rightly so. Against Brazil, they have been outstanding.
Right.
Although Brazil tried to come back in the second half, somehow I think Brazil missed Casemiro.
Yes.
He is a very defense-oriented midfielder, and he has been controlling the midfield very well with his experience at Real Madrid, doing well for Brazil. I think they definitely missed him because midfield was controlled by Belgium. You can remember the Lukaku run.
Yes.
He picked up the ball right from the midfield.
Yes.
And I think if Casemiro was there, I think he would have disturbed Lukaku and stopped the move at that stage. And that's how games are won and lost. And it was beautiful teamwork that Belgium resorted to in the first half and made the issue safe for Belgium.
What was going through your mind as that match was in progress?
No, Neeraj, actually, as a fan of Brazil, I've been supporting Brazil since 1998 and I will do so for the rest of my life because I'm a true Brazilian fan and nothing changes over there. But on a given day, this World Cup has been of surprises and we all know about it. And it was last Brazil who has to leave. And giving all credit to Belgium, the way they have played and the way they have gelled a clean, neat unit team, since 2014 World Cup, they have been together and they have really worked hard. And I think they deserve to be in the semi-finals because Brazil yesterday for me was not up to the mark. Sure. I don't want to take the good things about the match. As a true fan, I want to say that yes, I wish they could go through, but for me, Brazil was not what I expected of them. So hard luck to Brazil, and I wish Belgium all the best. Yes, my feelings say that I wish Brazil could go there, but then it cannot happen. One team has to go. One team has to go back.
We all want the big players to perform on the biggest stage of football, and so coming to Neymar, do you think we were let down by that incredible talent that he has, but he couldn't perform? So probably some issues with his focus there.
Yeah, sometimes big stars do try for more attentions, and that's what has been Neymar's of recent situations happening on the field. The fake injuries he proved, and that's the reason why also I feel the referee couldn't award the penalty which was on the from Konkani on Jesus. So I think certain players need to, especially players of Neymar caliber, need to understand that at particular time you need to be, relax and calm and make the situation go by. Don't put so much of pressure on the referee, because referee does keep it in his mind for the next fall. So that's what has been happening in all these games.
Right. Denzel, as a senior international player, for a player now watching these stars in action on TV and trying to become big players for their countries, what would you advise them? Because we've seen often these theatrics are getting the better of talented players and not able to reach their ultimate potential.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the youngsters should take up the positives out of this game. Neymar is a great talent. He's a world class player. He's got the qualities, and I always say to my friends also in the team that, whenever I discuss with my friends when I'm watching the match, that Neymar has the capacity when he's with the ball. Off the ball, he will show nothing. He will just be relaxed and calm. But when he has the ball, he shows everything. But then he needs to the little kiddish things what he's got. Get away with those things, and then I'm sure the youngsters can pick up so many things from Neymar.
Francis, in recent times, Brazil seemed to have become defensively very stable, strong unit. But yesterday, they were neither stable in defense nor sharp in attack, because even Coutinho, Gabriel Jesus and Willian, they were also not in very, they were not performing like a well-oiled car there. So, probably overall as a team, Brazil seemed to be mentally lacking something out there.
It's on tactics. How the coach uses tactics and strategy for a given on a given day against a given team. I think like Roberto Martinez had brought Fellaini after his performance in the last game against Japan. Started with Fellaini and Chadli. And Chadli, and he had designed roles for them to assist the defense more, and he had pushed up De Bruyne up in the front. And that's what really played up to perfection. They played this role into perfection, and that's how defensively Belgium was very strong. But it was not like Brazil. Brazil, he was exposed in the first 45 minutes. How De Bruyne and Lukaku and Hazard opened up the Brazilian defense and scored those 2 goals. I mean, that's where I think the defensive organization and the midfield organization plays a very vital role in the strength of your defense. And that's where Brazil faltered. They tried to rely too much on their attack. And I think that was their downfall. And even they have created a lot of chances, Brazil. But football is about scoring goals. If you are not clinical, I mean, they have been very good in the earlier matches. But you got to be clinical. Augusto missed a sitter. Coutinho missed. Firmino missed a touch for a brilliant pass from Neymar. And then Coutinho. I mean, you don't get many chances in a big game like this. You got to take them. And if you don't take them, you have to go home. And that's what Brazil is doing now.
And Neymar's last shot in the dying minutes was brilliantly saved, parried by Thibaut Courtois, Belgium goalkeeper. He had an exceptional night there yesterday, Belgium keeper.
Yeah, he was flying all over. He was determined. I mean, in the interview you have seen Courtois saying that, he has done his homework very well. He knows what type of shots Neymar has taken. So it was a very well planned, very well executed performance by Belgium. And they look thorough professionals when they come to the ground now. And like I said, it was a cracker of a game, with Brazil trying to come back into the game in the next 45 minutes. There was excitement at the top of the Belgium box. But unfortunately, I think fans will be disappointed to see Brazil out of the competition.
Absolutely. Let's now watch the highlights from that contest which Belgium won against Brazil. Denzel, first goal for Belgium, of course, an own goal by Brazil's Fernandinho. But that was a big boost for Belgium and it sent them on their way. But how do you analyze that goal? What was the mistake by the Brazil player, Fernandinho?
Yes, if you go to see the first deflection that has been given by Konkani, it was a perfect timing by Konkani first of all, and then both the defenders, Fernandinho and it was Miranda, if I'm not mistaken, they were together but they just closed their eyes.
They were very close.
They were very close, but
do you actually need to stand so close and jump together?
No, I don't think so. You need to have some distance, and normally as a stopper, you need to have some, because there are places allotted to a defender. Okay. You know, you have this place, whatever comes in front of you, that's yours, and whatever comes the behind defender, whatever comes in front of you is this area. It is yours. Right. So I think these defenders were too close. So somehow
they almost could have clashed their heads.
Yes, so somehow the deflection from Konkani, they closed their eyes, both of them, and it hit the Fernandinho's shoulder and entered the goal. No chance for the goalkeeper at all.
Absolutely. And the second goal taken really well by Kevin De Bruyne. He saw the place and he put the ball right into that slot there.
Yeah, credit goes to Lukaku for the wonderful work that he has done right from the building. I mean, Lukaku yesterday, you could have seen Neeraj. He was controlling the ball, he was holding the ball, and making use of his body, his physical strength, and giving opportunities for De Bruyne and Hazard to take spaces. And that's what exactly he did. He moved his way up from below the centre line and laid a beautiful pass to De Bruyne. De Bruyne as cool as ever. Like if you see his interview, he said, I have seen players moving. So you can imagine, that's what is required for you to score goals. Calmness, composure, and the technical ability.
The power that he generated in that shot
and the power.
Amazing.
You see, this is what makes you a great player. You have to be calm, composed, and technically sound. Right. He was really clinical. And from the 18 yards, I mean, he didn't miss that shot. Otherwise, it would be an even closer contest for Brazil. And that goal definitely shook Brazil fight to come back again into the game.
They looked a bit more urgent after that goal.
Yes, definitely. They were shaken up by the second goal, which they didn't expect.
Right, and when Renato Augusto scored that header, you would have thought that this could spark a comeback for Brazil.
Yeah, in fact, I thought that, you know, since Belgium also in the second half went more of defensive and attack and counter attacks, I felt maybe that could have been a good thing for Brazil. You know, they were giving good tries at the goal. And,
very good cross by Coutinho.
And also a very good try by Neymar at the last minute, which Courtois saved it with the tip of his finger, I can say. But hard luck for Brazil, and Belgium were really good in defense as well as attack.
So overall, you mean Belgium really looked superior to Brazil in all departments of the game?
I feel yes. Belgium was really superior in yesterday's game against Brazil, because they were overpowered in the defense, they were overpowered in the attack line. They did exactly what was required to win this match.
Right. Earlier though, France looking really well, not as good as they did against Argentina, but they were value for their victory as the Leblanc triumphed 2-0 over Uruguay, who sadly missed their prolific forward Edinson Cavani through his injury. Let's watch the highlights of that game.
They didn't come up with the performance they came up with Argentina.
Sure.
The man of who many people say of the tournament would be Mbappe, never fired. It happens to big players. And he, young as he is, you know, like I always spoke about temperament. Oh, yeah. You know, and that's what happens to young players. Temperamentally, you get overawed by the situation. You play against Uruguay, and everybody knows that Uruguay is a very strong side, very composed, very organized side. And I think Uruguay missed Cavani very badly. I think they would make a lot of difference if Cavani was playing yesterday. But nevertheless, they fought very well, and the first goal was a dead ball situation and very well headed by Varane. And the second goal was probably a gift by the goalkeeper.
Right.
I think he was too premeditated in the type of save that he would do, because he buckled, and a waist-high ball or a shoulder-height ball which he could have very well collected with his body behind. I think that's where he faltered.
Yeah.
And that was a gift for France and the confidence to build up going forward. But I think like Griezmann never celebrated the goal, because he knew that it was more like a gift for him.
Sure.
And like he says, they are all his colleagues.
He's half Uruguayan.
Half Uruguayan, and his colleagues are playing at Atletico Madrid. And the captain was his daughter's godfather. So I think he paid respects, and very rightly so. That's the hallmark of a great player.
For that goalkeeper, the premeditation got him into that soup. Otherwise, he could have aligned his body and caught the ball.
I think it so happens to so many players. You find players who at the corner kicks bending very low to head the ball, even when the ball is to be played by the foot. So that's premeditated earlier, what you would normally do, and that's what normally happened yesterday for.
So experienced, over 100 appearances, 10 years now playing for Uruguay.
Yes,
that happens to.
Yes, when it's France Day and you have luck on your side, something like this happens and you go through, and very rightly so. France really never deserved to be a winner yesterday because Uruguay fought their heart out. But luck, if you are lucky enough, you get the goals. And luck comes when you are brave. And I have been always insisting that if you start taking shots, it may deflect off somebody's foot, or goalkeeper can do such things like let the ball go slip through, like the previous match De Gea did.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to attempt at the goal, and that's where you get your goals.
Right. Denzel, speaking of the first goal by Rafael Varane, the defender, it seemed incredibly technical about the way he went about heading it. You can describe to us how best he executed that chance.
No, the timing of the run, Neeraj, was perfect. That's very important because the defender was ready to clear the ball. Griezmann had his free kick taken already, and the timing what Varane used to get in front of those seconds, those 2-3 seconds what you require to be there and just flick the ball, actually changed everything. That was perfect timing, a good free kick by Griezmann, and Varane scoring with a powerful header.
Do you practice such free kicks and such headers at the international level in India?
Yes, it does happen. It's part of the free kicks. You know, there are sometimes free kicks played to the second post, sometimes in the penalty spot, and there are sometimes in the first post also. For example, we had this Climax Lawrence in Indian football who used to do regular basis for Dempo or for the national team, who would go and flick on and score many goals. He's done it. So that's one of the free kicks which mostly coaches want to practice with the team.
Fantastic. Francis, overall though, France, how much rating points would you give them out of 10 for this game if compared to their earlier performance against Argentina, if we compare both?
I think 5.5 because what they are capable of playing.
And against Argentina, how much was?
I think Argentina was 7.5.
Right, so it's a big letdown for this
because
game.
I think they are capable of playing great football.
Right.
Pogba and company. I mean, they are individually very good players, some of them. So I think they are quite capable of coming up with good performances.
Right.
And we should not assess them at the semi-final stage of the performance based on this quarter-final stage. I think they will come. Sorry.
I read somewhere France coach Didier Deschamps seems to be very conservative. And if it was Pep Guardiola, now everybody is comparing Pep Guardiola as the highest standard for an attacking coach. If it was Pep Guardiola, the coach of France, he would have used his attacking instruments in a very, very liberal manner, and France would play really good champagne football. But Deschamps seems to be conservative. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, each coach has his own strategy and his way of thinking. I mean, Pep Guardiola has an influence in Germany, has an influence in Spain, and now influence in England. A lot of players have been influenced by Pep's philosophy and strategies. And I read an interview with Stones, who says he is because of Pep Guardiola's confidence that he has given him. He speaks very softly and he speaks with very few words. And he gives you the confidence to believe in yourself. And that's something great that the coach works magic on players. And that's what he's having. You see, Germany has won when he was with Bayern Munich.
Right.
When he was with Barcelona, Spain has won. And now England are supposed to be favourites.
Oh, wow.
So the influence of Pep Guardiola's strategy and
new confidence
and confidence of players is evident by their performance at this world stage.
Right. So we make a note of this trend in football now. The young coaches come out with really vibrant ideas and how the world football is changing. Gone are the days of those veteran coaches like Eriksson, Capello, Hodgson, Ancelotti. So you have this new breed of coaches like Pep Guardiola in English Football League, and even Didier Deschamps as French coach seems to have conservative views. So overall, the world football is now being bossed by younger coaches. So how are the players responding? What do you note now here?
As Sir rightly said about Guardiola, he's had an influence in Spain, Germany, and now England, and that's you can see most of the players playing in English Premier League, playing in the national team. I have made this difference. You know, initially England used to be all long football, you know, long balls or direct football. Now the things have changed. The time have changed. When they have good managers like Guardiola, when they have Jose Mourinho, and the coaches who prefer more of ball possession. So the players are also adopting to the same situation, and that's exactly they have got it to the national level.
Yes, even Spain were doing well with Lopetegui as the coach, young coach, but that sudden change knocked Spain out a bit. So overall, football seems to be reinventing with the teams around the world. So all younger coaches now going to change the balance of world football?
Yeah, younger coaches and younger players are going to change the equation of football in the world. They are going to be more purposeful, they are more energetic, and they are coming up with new ideas, the coaches. And they are coming up with the ideas because these young players can deliver their strategies and their tactics. And the coaches believe in these players who are young. Like we say, we have played very conservative and orthodox type style of football all these World Cups, if you have seen.
Yes.
Okay? So, but then that has changed now. It's more attacking football, ball possession in your own defensive third, in your midfield, and in attacking you have a lot of penetration and a lot of technical work being done. I think there is a transformation, and as you see, the next World Cup will be a little more different with these younger players being at the peak of their careers.
Right. Even in some quarters, I read that Zidane is free, and probably he could be the naturally successor of Deschamps at France. Brazil also have a veteran coach now. Probably Brazil could be the next candidate for a younger coach. You never know.
Yes, definitely. I mean, even the federation officials will start thinking why our country has failed. They will opt for new strategies and new thinking. And I think like even German Oliver Bierhoff has also suggested ways and means how they can change things. But they have not lost faith in their.
Yes, I read somewhere. He's set to continue.
But it is the breed of young players that they are hoping will revive their glory back again.
Right. So it's now all European lineup for the semi-finals as the big guns have exited the biggest stage in football. And there's no South American team left in the competition. That's a very, very, very big surprise that we are witnessing at this FIFA World Cup 2018. Right then, tonight we have the next two quarterfinals. The first between England and Sweden, and that will be followed by the matchup between Russia, the hosts, and Croatia. So, in quick time, what do you feel would be the the course of the action today for England, Sweden and the Russia-Croatia match?
I think the England-Sweden match will be very interesting. I mean, we are not going to look at statistics again at all. Past is history.
Yes.
And then a part of that history is changing with this World Cup. Sweden has not beaten England for a couple of times now. Sweden has not lost
in World Cup. Both have been draws.
Yes. So I don't think that will that will exist in the minds of the players. I mean, they are going to go now with a different mindset, and England are on a high. So I think England has an edge over Sweden. But the very organized Swedish team, the very defense-oriented Swedish team are going to give a fright of their life to England in this match, and it's going to be a very interesting match.
And for the second game?
Croatia and Russia, yes, it's going to be a close game. Russia is going to be a home game for them, and there's going to be pressure on them as well to perform in front of the supporters and go to the next level. But Croatia is a very good side, so I go with Croatia.
Right, so we have these two quarterfinals coming up later today, and just before we wind up, we have the World Cup quiz for you here.
Here is the Prudent World Cup quiz. Question for the day. What is the name of the official mascot of FIFA World Cup 2018? A. Zabiwaka, B. Willy, C. Fuleko. Send in your correct option to 9011043390 and win football merchandise from Vectex. Winners of all the quizzes will be declared after the World Cup final.
Stay tuned to Prudent. That's all the time we have in this show. Goodbye and see you soon.